Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We're in the cut with Eric Ryan. Living legend, living legend.
Man.
I want to start at the top of this project because I rocked with it a lot, and what it has is that replay value. Like it's one of those short ones that after it's done, you could just run it
Yeah,
right
thank
back,
you.
run it right back. When we talked last time, had you already started recording most of the songs for this project? And like what was the first song that you recorded?
Uh, I had like, okay, so Soleil is on the at the end. So technically, I think I don't know if we were working on that one at the time, but that was, I guess that was the first one. But everything else has been within the last like few months. Like
Okay,
we've been
okay.
just like working from home in our little studio or home studio. This is the den
Gee.
here, so we're just working away, you know. But I think the first one that we got done from that, aside from Soleil, was uh, I think it was Cuffing Season or Shine. I think Shine was the one that I started working on the earliest, but
Okay.
that one took the longest to finish. So yeah,
Really? Why did it take the longest?
just I don't know. I guess I would say I'm not the most uh smartest engineer or producer. I'm
The
still
most
learning.
smartest engineer. I
I
like
don't
that.
know, like I have to. It takes me a while to learn things, and
Mhm,
I just like if I'm not happy with it, I'll let it sit for like a few days, and then I'll come back to it, see if I like it. So it was kind of
mhm,
just like the constant reworking of that song, and then
mhm.
also there's a lot of moving parts. But that being said, it was like I think that one's probably my most like for Shine. I think that's my probably my most favorite out of all the songs I've made. So
Jeez, jeez. Nah,
yeah,
Shine is. I got the questions about Shine later. Shine is my favorite on the project right now.
yeah,
That
thank you.
that's easy to change, but but you know what? Before we even get to Shine, Shine is like a different level. That is like that's an obvious favorite. That makes any sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like when the project comes out, I feel like that would be a lot of people's favorite off rip.
Favorite. So I'm just getting my charger.
No, no worries, bro. This is amazing.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh shoot! Almost dropped my. All right. Sorry, where were we?
No, we're not. I was saying Shine is a standout. Like I could see Shine being a lot of people's favorite
Thank
off their first listen, like just because it's like has a different vibe.
for sure.
Um,
I'm happy that like you feel that way because like I feel like with that one has like the biggest message. I guess we'll get into that later. I know you had.
no, for
I
sure,
guess
for
the
sure.
biggest message that I wanted to like pass on to other people essentially.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Um, you play guitar, and there's a lot of guitars all over this. Um, do you feel like there would be as much guitars on it if we weren't making music in a coronavirus quarantine? Like if you were, I don't know, not having to be at home, or do you feel like it would sound a little different?
I feel like I mean with quarantine and everything we've definitely had to like obviously like stay inside, but I feel like I would have done that anyways.
Okay,
So
okay.
um I feel like it would probably be the same. If anything, it's like this is the most like the stuff that you're hearing now is like the most real because we haven't been able to go. I don't know. I've been I guess like with in terms of like the writing and like even just like with everything here, it's like I kind of wanted I had the vision of making this EP like it almost feels like you're just in a room falling asleep, waking up kind of deal. And
Mm.
like you're in a bedroom essentially. So that's basically like I guess the life I lived for like a while. So I wanted to portray that. So I guess if anything, yeah, it feels more real or more true to story, if anything.
That was gonna be my next question because off of the intro, I was like, this is a great album to ball up to. Like
I
that,
think
like
I've been bozzled the whole time making all the tracks.
and I thought of that because I was like, I feel like he had to be like Rip doing this, but the album is definitely like perfect for that vibe. Like that could be your whole sesh. And you said this is something to like, wake up and go to sleep to. Do you anticipate people like, saying that, oh, I always do this album or that to this album? Because when I heard it, I was like, yo, everyone's gonna tell you they're balling up to this for sure.
It's pretty crazy. It's nice to hear how other people like portray the song and like where it fits in their lives. I find that really interesting. I mean, for me, it's like whenever I'm going through a certain situation in my life, whether it's a breakup, like obviously, and this is the same with everyone. It's so cliche, but there's just certain songs that feel different to you because it reminds you of these memories and stuff like that. And I wanted to make essentially the same thing. So it's nice to hear that other people are feeling that way about
you hit that on the head for sure. Like people are gonna have a lot of memories all of this project.
And shout out to Elijah Cruz for he was the one that made the beat for Stuck. Okay. Shout out to him. He's super dope. And my guitar teacher, Mike, he's the one that played the guitar on all the solos and stuff.
Oh wow! Shout out to Mike.
Shout out to Mike. He's a super dope guy, and I'll definitely have him on more projects too for sure.
Big shout out to Mike. I was looking through your Insta and I saw these pictures of you, the Canadian Forces, and I'm like, is Eric Ryan 21 Savage on the low?
That was a while ago. That was in my I served for 3 years and change in the reserves. It was definitely an experience.
Yeah, no. Tell us about that. I definitely was like, again, surprised to see that. It was a great commercial. It like if someone was worried about joining or not joining, and they saw all your pictures, look, you were having a blast. But just talk about that time in your life compared to what you're doing now.
It was definitely different. I mean, to tell you the truth, when I was in the Army or when I joined, I had no intention or even like had no thoughts of doing music. I was in a different, I guess, a different mindset or a different, like, I don't know. I guess my goals in life were different. Or I guess they haven't evolved to me, like my own like real passions and stuff like that. But that being said, like at the time, like it definitely showed me a lot of hardships and a lot of like self-learning, and it showed me a lot of what I can and can't do and what I can do if I put my mind to it, sort of deal. Yeah, I mean, I left out of high school in like doing pretty much Army for part-time, full-time, if that makes sense. Where I really did some learning in terms of what I wanted to do next, I guess. But yeah.
When did that like passion start? Because it's always interesting to me, because even myself, like there was a time when I wasn't doing this, and it's like, when did that transition come where you're like, you know what, I'm actually just gonna do this all the time now? So when did that happen where you started dabbling in first,
like the music?
Yeah.
Okay, so go back, I guess. As a kid, I used to play this game called Rock Band. I got it from my dad for Christmas once, and I'd play that shit every day for like a year. And like it wasn't just one instrument. I like to play like all of them and like test them out and stuff like that. But I guess like from that kind of seeded like this idea of like, yo, performing would be so dope. I know you can't do it because I'm just playing a game, but it would be kind of cool to do that. And I've always loved music as like growing up and stuff, but I guess what kind of sparked it, I guess flash forward, I've left the Army now. I've done like a bunch of other jobs and tried like a few different businesses and stuff like that. I was running a business and I was doing covers on the side, like just like putting music out just to kind of work on my voice and stuff like that, right? Because I like making music. I like singing covers of my favorite songs and stuff, and just like posting it online. But I guess there's like this one point where essentially I went to go see my friends perform at this venue downtown, and I'd never been to like a like a friend's concert. Like it was only like, I think I went to like Daniel Caesar's or something, like only big one, like maybe a big one. But it was just like a room of them and then just a few of our friends and stuff like that. And I was watching them and they were having a great time. And I was like, yo, what if I could do this? They look like they're having so much fun, you know, like why, I bet if they could do it, maybe I could. So I guess like from what I remember, it was like that night. And then like for the next like half a year, I would just try writing songs. It was so ass. they were so terrible, but like I would forget about it and then I'd come back to it. And then like it kind of just slowly started building up. And then I started making like, I guess like I guess I tried to start finishing them. And then one thing led to another, and I started trying to record shit. And then that's when I met Brian, my piano guy / amazing producer. He's like a maestro. He's like Jacob Collier, but like on the come up, man. I'm telling you. But that being said, he's what's it called? He messaged me one time and he was like, yo, let's try to make something. So I told him to come over, and in a weekend in an afternoon, we made Interlude, which was my first song ever.
Wow.
And then it's all been crazy from there.
That's a pretty crazy entry, but that's cool that is like someone you knew that you saw and you were like, you know what, I could see myself doing this. Listen, I'm happy that you came over to this side. I love seeing you hold the strap, but I'd rather
I think at the end of the day too, it's like I think one of the biggest things I learned from like being in the military, at least compared to this, I knew that I wanted to be in an environment where I wasn't being told by anyone like what to do. Like I couldn't have that person above me. I needed to just kind of go on my own little boat and figure shit out on my own, you know? And with the military, at the end of the day, it's like how they train things, or they have their own specific shit for that. But I understand as to why they do that. But I think for me, it's like I just need to be my own person. I can't have other people above me. I just need to, have my own ship,
I feel you. You can't dance someone else's choreography.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuck as the first song on the project really sets the tone. Like it takes you into that, like you said, that wake up place. And I think it does a good job of kind of preparing you for the rest of the project. And do you always know that Stuck was going to be the first song in terms of the sequencing? And I felt like Shine could have been a good intro as well, but tell me why Stuck made sense as an intro.
So I was talking with my friend Ryan Michael, shout out to him. I'm just giving a lot of shout out. Ryan. He's he basically focuses on he's very artistic, and he does like a lot of music and cinematography and like movies and stuff like that. And we were talking and we were like, yo, like how are we gonna how am I gonna plan this out? I want it to be like almost like a movie. I want it to be kind of like how do these big albums like get so much crazy? It's because it's like beginning to end play, right? So I figured, okay, well, how do we make a story with our songs, or with the songs that I'm making right now? So I guess it starts off with Stuck, right? It's like super like mellow, and then you have, I guess, Cuffing Season, which kind of raises up a little bit in tempo and stuff. So it's kind of like hype, like a movie. You get the first little battle scene, right? And then you get Shine, which is like crazy, right? And then you get Dream State, which kind of drops down. It's like the little rest between fights, and then like the final climax of the whole movie. And then Soleil is like where it goes. But yeah, I think Stuck was it just made sense because the whole title of the EP was Dream State, and in the beginning you're waking up. So it's like I figured that was kind of like that would tie into multiple different things, I guess.
No, it definitely made sense for sure. Like again, even though like I already know Stuck, it still took me to that place where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for whatever's about to go down. Cuffing Season, bro. Whoever that shorty is on Cuffing Season.
No, Jules. Jules is such an amazing singer, and she's an even greater person. Like, you definitely have to have her on your show.
Man, she kills it, and like I thought that would be my favorite song just because I like that song so much. But obviously Shine took over from that. But when I was listening back to the project, I was like, yo, on Cuffing Season, like he's super into this girl. Like whoever's girl he's talking about, like she is the GOAT. Like she's like he's super into her. And that's the only song I feel like, because you do talk about being into girls in the other songs, but like in that song is really like, yo, she's the truth. Like talk about, I guess, writing that song, that experience, because I think some of the lyrics you're saying are going like under the radar, so to speak, in terms of like you being like, yo, my heart's beating out my chest. Like, we talk about putting that song together.
It's crazy because it's exactly how I wanted it to feel like when we wrote it. But I kind of wanted to, I guess, like to add into the whole like story. Cuffing Season was like, or how I had imagined it was basically that was a dream. After like, I guess like stuck, you're constantly in like a waking up, sleeping kind of like vibe. Essentially, going like when you fall asleep, Cuffing Season would be playing in your head, essentially. And it was like remembering back to like who he's singing about, I guess.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah. I mean, that being said, on top of that too, it's like, I guess on the subject of like, I guess the writing inside that, I found it kind of cool because I feel like, well, with everyone, it's like you're just trying to feel that kind of like you want to have that kind of connection with, I don't know, you want to have those I don't know how to describe butterflies and stuff like that. When I'm just looking back at my own experiences when I was like, you get like that puppy love type shit, you know, when you're like all you're thinking about type shit, you know.
Yo, it brought me back because it's like that feeling where it's like this is the coolest person I've ever met. Like that early feeling where you're like, oh, they're the best. Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to run downstairs and come get you. Like, you know, it really gave me that feeling, and I was like, yep, I know about this. I've been here before. On Shine, the drums come in basically halfway through the song, but I like it for that reason because it's like a 4-minute long crescendo, and it's like just a swell into that part of the song. Was there ever a version of the song that did it that was either the drums all the way through or no drums at all? Because when I listened to the song a few times, I was like, you know what, like you could do it either way and it probably would still slap. It's better the way it is, but both halves slap on their own. That it's like that could have been that way.
For sure. It originally started with I guess like the first half where it was just the guitar and my vocals. But I only wrote that little bit, and I was like, I tried to redo it, and I guess this is getting into like the technical like songwriting stuff, but when I wrote like a second verse to it, it felt not necessarily boring, but it did. I wanted it like in my ear, like as a listener, I wanted it to go up. I wanted to get like crazier and more complex. And just adding a second verse where it kind of changes like a different melody, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I could try something else. So I did. And then that's what ended up happening where I was like, okay, like what if we tried adding drums to kick in, and then it starts getting crazier and crazier. And then we just started adding more elements to it. And that's how it turned it into.
Not a nod. Shine is a track. So listen, y'all will hear the project by the time this comes out, but y'all gotta run that one back.
Sure. And I think with Shine, I think the biggest thing, so I guess like a little bit more about it was when I suffered from, and I still like kind of go through this shit today, but when I was in like my deepest, darkest like depression and shit, I guess like I wrote it based on my experience with it, and I realized that like I guess one of the biggest lessons was that you gotta shine bright, man. You gotta look at the positive things in your life. You gotta be thankful. Like it has to come from within, right? And you just gotta keep pushing, and you gotta. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No. It's all good. Cause I think that's why I like the song is that it gives me that like the song I think of when I think of it is D'Angelo "Send It On," and it's like what you're saying is what that song gives me that feeling, and you've done the perfect thing where it's like the lyrics say that, but the music says that as well. And you said like that shyness come from within. Like I couldn't articulate that until you said it, but that's kind of what that feeling is, where you get that swell and it builds up. So
Mhm.
and it's like I feel like that song is important, at least on this project, because it's like there's other themes on here. That's not always what the content is, but for this song to be the one that takes it there is pretty important.
Much love. Thank you.
Dream State is like, yeah, Dream State another one of those ones where I was like, this is why this is a ball up album. Like Dream State is another one of those. Talk about it being the title of the project, because I like looking through more, I was like, a lot of these songs could have been like title of a project worthy, like
Mhm.
just from the songs. But why Dream State?
I think I guess one of the lyrics was like, when you make me feel like I'm in a dream state. I was like, looking back at all these other songs, it feels like you're in a dream too. So it's like, what if we just took that and then made that the EP, and then kind of make that the whole theme of the whole song. And I guess like when it came to like making it and stuff like that, or writing the lyrics and stuff, that beat was from Jesse Epp, amazing producer as well. But yeah, when it came to writing it, I just felt like it would be a great opportunity to kind of sum everything up in
Mm-hmm.
terms of like the whole story of just, like, yeah, you're dreaming about, or you're dreaming and thinking about all the good times that you've had with this special person, like in that relationship. But,
Mm-hmm.
and it sucks that, you have to move on, but, you still have, but it's at the same time, it's like, you're still showing that you still have those thoughts of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's like you could no, it is. It's like you can never properly like forget. Like I say to my girl all the time, like someone could do you dead wrong, and all you have in your memory are the good times. Like so that dream state is a perfect way to put it, because it's like it's that space between reality and not all the way being there. So I think that's perfect. Like
Mhm.
yeah, and then I dream state to me felt like an outro song. Even though I knew there was another song coming, I was just lost in the sauce, and I was like, "Oh, what's the song after this?" Talk about putting Soleil as an outro. Why do you think that made sense?
I felt like it was cool because I guess like going back into Dream State at the end, there's like a little interlude that Brian plays there. Um, and I guess in that little interlude, I kind of wanted it to, I guess I wanted the listener to kind of visualize, okay, like, yeah, like through piano notes, I guess, I don't know, that is like, yeah, it sucks and it's a sad time, but as time progresses, right, things can turn good and it becomes a little bit more positive and it kind of floats onto a positive note that leads
True.
into the next song, which is finding a new love, essentially. And I guess like metaphorically, that could be a new person or finding love within yourself, I guess. But that was just kind of like how I envisioned it.
I like that. That's a good positive ending for sure. Like especially the way that the project goes all the way through, like to end on that positive note,
Mhm.
was definitely pretty cool. This is
Sure.
one of my favorite questions that we ask everyone on the show, and is top five. Now, it says top five people in your life make you who you are. Who are the top five people in your life that help you be you? Now, your top five doesn't have to be five. It can be a two, or it could be
Okay.
a 10. But
For
who are the
sure.
people in your life that help you be you?
Um, Definitely my mom and dad. I mean, my mom's creativity and my dad's singing ability. He used to sing. He inspired me to sing when I was young. Like whenever he'd pick me up for the weekends, he'd always be singing "Boys to Men" in his car, and I'd be like, "Whoa, I wonder if I could." I can't hit those notes, but like maybe if I practice in my room later, like maybe I can. But is that obviously like a lot of my family too for sure. Mark, my cousin slash manager, he's been he was actually one of the people that kind of, I guess, like if you really want to say like spark the match. I remember I don't remember where we were coming from, but I drove him home, and I was singing in the car because one of my favorite songs were on, and he's like, "Yo, I didn't know you sing, bro. You're pretty good." I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I don't know. I guess like that kind of like boosted my confidence a little bit to kind of like actually start posting like more covers and stuff like that.
Yeah, he got you.
So and that being said, he's been here since day -1. So he's an inspiration for sure, and he keeps me in check. Two other people. Let's do artists, because I feel like there's a lot of artists that I listen to, and I like to pick up inspiration from all of them. But I think Frank Ocean and Daniel Caesar are probably my biggest inspirations. Just in terms of their songwriting and being able to be comfortable with letting your emotions out through word and just like singing your heart out, you know. I feel like that resonates with me the most, and I would recommend anyone. Obviously, I'm pretty sure anyone that listens to me definitely listens to them. So if anything, just know that I'm listening too. So yeah, I'll see y'all at the concerts when they come back, if anything. So,
facts. When this Panzerati is all over. That's
Panasonic.
This Panasonic. Yeah. This Panera bread. That's a good five right there. And I feel like Frank Ocean and Daniel Caesar, what they have in common is you said about their writing and being vulnerable, and then not being afraid to like sing their heart out, because that's the thing too, is like on an Album Mode podcast, we talk about a lot of these artists writing, and they're really afraid to go deep into anything, and it's they'll allude to something and you don't really know what's going on, you don't really know what they're talking about. Frank Ocean, Daniel Caesar are the opposite of that. Like, you know,
just go right to the point.
Yo, there's a line that Frank Ocean had. I forget which song it is now, but maybe you'll remember the song. But I always tell my brother it's my favorite line. And he goes, "The way you say my name makes me feel like I'm that nigga, but I'm still unemployed."
Yo, Pyramids, bro. That's my favorite song from Frank Ocean.
And I'm like, yo, that line, you like only a real one is saying that. So like, I totally get you when it's like their writing is a different level.
Have you heard the? Do you know what Dissect is?
Yeah.
Have you listened to the Dissect on Pyramids?
I didn't know they did one on Pyramids. Whoa, I didn't know that.
I don't want to ruin it for you, but when you listen to it and when you kind of break down how it's in different story, it's like all three stories put together in one. Your mind's gonna go like this.
No,
shit goes deep. I
just wrote that down. I gotta listen to that. Yeah, no, Pyramids is a goated track, like goated.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah,
that was after thinking about you. Pyramids was on repeat for like years. So
for real. Yeah, no, he has like a lot of tracks like that where you're like, I can, and the fact that Pyramids is like basically a 10-minute song, you just play it over and over, is like, that shows you
get fucking different experiences every time you listen to it, and it's like out of this world, literally out of this world, you know.
Yeah, that's a crazy track. I hope you have a good answer for this one, and I feel like you might. When people get a lot of bread, we see they buy all these exotic animals. Mike Tyson with his tiger, Justin Bieber with his monkey. Is there an animal that you would consider bringing into your life once you get to that level?
I think, okay, so I'm allergic to like all animals.
Okay, perfect.
So if anything, if I had enough money, I would get shot so that way I'm not allergic, and then I would get dogs and cats. I love dogs and cats. Like my TikTok page is like full of them. So it's been my dream to have a pet to, you know, like have around. And if I had the money to do that, then I totally would.
Oh man,
it sounds boring, but it's actually crazy for me.
No, I feel that. Like, I know people who are like allergic to dogs but love dogs, and it's like that has to be
pain. Yeah.
Like, that has to be horrible for sure. And you know, I love dogs, so I can't even be mad at that one.
His best friend for sure.
Oh, for sure. This is the last one. We do a segment on the show called Wednesday Wisdom every week. A new motivational quote coming to us from our boy Brandon Gibbs. Is there anything that you keep in your mind or that you tell other people that kind of keeps you going when things are feeling a little low?
Shine bright. You just gotta keep like at the end of the day, like at least how I look at it, the sun always shines even though there's clouds and even though it rains, there's always gonna be another day when it shines. So, same way. You gotta do the same thing.
I rock with that. The thing I like about Wednesday Wisdom is that I feel like we get a lot of great quotes because I talk to a lot of great writers, and a quote like that saying "shine bright," the sun will always shine another day. That will be helpful to someone who needs something more direct, because if you literally think about it, you're like, that actually adds up. The sun will shine every day. So it's like stuff like that is like, we even though we know it's true and it means something to us, we understand that it might sound a little corny.
Hey, when it's raining, it's shit. When it's raining, you can't think about the sun. you're constantly, you're like, fuck, I'm wet, right? But it's like at the end of the day, you're gonna go to sleep. You may still be wet, and it may be a terrible week where it's raining like crazy or whatever. It's tropical season. I don't know, but there's got to be sunny days out of there, and you will dry and you will get better.
145%. Man, this has been an amazing conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, man. It's an honor for sure.
I feel like we got to do another pod and just talk music, because this morning I had my I was in my voodoo mood, and I listened to D'Angelo over and over again, and I was like, yeah, me and Eric got to talk about talk about music.
For sure, man. I'm always happy to join you on that.
145%. If you listen to the podcast for the first time, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Apple Podcasts,
Spotify. Some love right now, for sure.
Yep, Google Play, Amazon Music. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube as well. That's the Cool Table Live on YouTube. And until next time, know yourself, know your word.
Much love.